y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I am Susan, your hostess. This is Pumpkin Palooza 2025, hosted by Angela at the Inquisitive Farm Wife. So thank you, Angela, for the invite. And today I am making some healthy pumpkin oatmeal bars. I'll leave a link to where I found this recipe. I am making it my own. So y'all stick around and see what I come up with. For this recipe, you will need 1.5 cups of oats, 3/4 cups of canned pumpkin puree, not the pumpkin pie. You want to make sure you're getting regular pumpkin, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're going to use half teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and in place of the ground ginger and nutmeg, I'm using my homemade pumpkin pie spice. It calls for 2 tablespoons of mini chocolate chips, and I'm adding in some sliced almonds. It also calls for 1/4 cup of maple syrup, honey, or agave, and I have chosen to mix this. So I'm mixing mine half and half with the RX sugar that's 0 carbs, 0 calories, with 100% grade dark maple syrup. This recipe is not keto. The actual recipe has 18 grams of carbs per serving. However, I am using allulose in place of some of that maple syrup, so that's going to lower the carb content. This is a diabetic-friendly recipe. It contains oats, which you can do breakfast oats with, and it doesn't spike your sugar when you use them as breakfast oats because they have fermented. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have lined a 8x8 pan with some parchment paper, but you can use a 9x13 for a double recipe, and I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Into my mixer, I'm going to add the canned pumpkin, not my frozen pumpkin. I found this in my pantry and really needed to use it up. And what was left over was a treat for the chickens. So we're going to get that pumpkin in there. And we're going to add in 1 egg. Our teaspoon of vanilla extract. And our 1/4 cup of maple syrup mixed with the allulose. We're going to get that mixed together. Then we're going to combine our dry ingredients, except for the chocolate chips and the almonds. That will be the topping. Now I'm going to add in my oats. And my 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of baking soda, and about 1.5 teaspoons of my pumpkin pie spice mix that I made myself. So all that's going into our mixer. We're going to blend this together. Now I'm going to add in my oats. And my 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of baking soda, and about 1.5 teaspoons of my pumpkin pie spice mix that I made myself. So all that's going into our mixer. We're going to blend this together. There it is, folks. Look at that. Yummy. It's been sitting out about 20 minutes out of the oven. And I'm just going to lift the paper up. We're going to bring it over to the counter. And we have a bar. So we're going to cut this into 9 squares and get it plated up for you. It needs to finish cooling before I actually plate it up. It's still pretty hot. But we have a bars cut. Yummy in my tummy. Yummy, delicious. Oh my goodness, they look so good. We're going to try one. So these are soft, they're not crispy. And they're still a little bit warm. Mmm. They're chewy. The pumpkin is coming through slightly with that pumpkin spice. The chocolate just sets it off. So, so good, folks. It is very chewy. Mmm. Let me know in the comments if you would like to try this recipe out, what changes you might make, or if you have another recipe that you would like me to try out on my channel. Please let me know in the comments below, because I love cooking and I love making recipes. Pumpkin Palooza 2025. This is hosted by Angela at the Inquisitive Farm Wife. Thank you again, Angela, for inviting me along. Be blessed, everyone. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.